Welcome back to OwlDragon Adventures. I'm Scott Kegler.
And I'm Rob McPherson.
And these are our picks for the best games of 2025. Hey, so it's been a while since we've done a video. Rob and I have both been suffering from the plague. As you can hear, I'm still dealing with it. You might hear
I made it through.
Yeah, Rob might cough once or twice during this video, but...
now that you said that, I'm definitely
Yeah. So bear with us on that, but we just really want to make sure that we got our picks in for both of our favorite games of 2025.
And we made it in before the end of the year.
We didn't, but we've also, again, formation sickness. But here, wanted to get those down. And overall, it's been I found it's been a great year for games. I struggled with my list a bit because there's a lot of, and a good variety where like last year I felt like I mainly struggled with, like there was a lot of really great Euros that I liked. This year there was a
good variety this year.
A lot of variety, and you'll see that in my list. I'm not sure. We haven't shown each other our lists, so we'll see if we have any crossovers. I don't expect more than one or two, if any, crossovers on our lists.
I got a lot of Euros on mine.
Okay. I mean, not to say there's not some Euros on my list as well, but and that's kind of our sweet spot. Like I like Euros, cozy, solo games. You're like Euros, tactile kind of games.
Yeah, spatial awareness. Spatial puzzles.
Yep.
Yeah.
So with that, we're going to get into our top 10 of 2025.
All right. You want to go first?
Sure. I'll start off actually with a runner-up before I get into my official list. I only got to play this once, and I really wanted to play it more. I liked my first play of it, even if though we didn't play it wrong, but we definitely missed an important thing that we should have been doing. And that game is Covenant. I really enjoyed Covenant. I think it's a great game. If I had played it more, I think I would have placed it somewhere in my top 10, but I want to give it that opportunity before I...
Yeah, and to clarify, when we say we missed something we should have been doing, it's not even we missed a rule. We missed a strategy.
Yeah.
But like we missed it so bad that we feel it really did impact our gameplay.
Yeah. I think next time, with that in mind...
Forging is important. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, almost as like dwarves, you would just forget to forge. But so that was my runner-up before I get into my list. That said, my number 10... my number 10 of the year was actually, I think it's my only true solo game on my list. Came in late for me this year, but I've played it a lot while I haven't had people over because I've been sick, is Hercules and the 12 Labors. This is like a perfect small box solo game. Very mean, but I enjoy it. It is just dice rolling and then dice worker placement, essentially, or dice placement. And then just using special abilities at the right time, understanding how that all works.
I do find it funny that you messaged me when you started playing it, and the one that you couldn't get past at that point was the same one I got stuck on. The stupid birds.
Yeah. But I've been enjoying it a lot. This is exactly what I want with that type of a game. I always like to look for what my big solo of the year is, and this is definitely like my smaller solo that I really, really enjoyed this year.
I got to break that one out again. I haven't played it. I played it a lot in my post-PAX decompress and then life.
So, So that's my number 10, Hercules and the 12 Laborers by Envy Born Games.
Yeah, nice. So I'll do a runner-up as well. This one is a runner-up mostly because BGG lists it as 2024, although I am quite bitter about that because I didn't get it until September of this year, and I was on the pre-order list, so I think it's a 2025 game because it was a European 2024 list, but I digress. And that's going to be Phoenix New Horizon. So this is it's a...
Worker placement?
Yeah, it's worker placement. No, it's not worker placement. It's it's action selection.
Okay.
Because the little workers, the only time that you're actually placing many is when we're going up the tech track. The only other times... Okay. Oh, no, you're right. The worker placement, you're right.
Yeah.
I always forget about the action board somehow.
Yeah.
That's how you take the action selections. Never mind. Yeah. I'm wrong. It's a worker placement game. And it's a really nice, efficient puzzle. I really like it. I played it again fairly recently. Actually, I played it again at PAX for this last time, and I was able to actually optimize a couple of my moves quite nicely, and it just was very satisfying. We'll do a full review on it soon. So yeah, that's kind of my runner-up. Not quite 2025 game, but it is a 2025 game. So moving on to my number 10. So my number 10 game of the year You might consider it a cheat also because it's technically follow-on chapters to a game from 2022. And this is going to be Perseverance, Castaway Chronicles. So I got episodes 3 and 4 finally in. Now, I want to preface this by saying technically I'm rating this only off of episode 3, which I played a couple of times. I have not cracked episode 4 yet. And then I have to do the whole playthrough of 1, 2, 3, and 4, which should take a nice week of my life.
Yeah.
So I liked Chapter 1. Chapter 1 was very much a crisis management game where you've got dinosaurs coming at you and you got to block them. Chapter 2, you're starting to build out your civilization, which was cool because you're pushing back out into the wilderness, and it was less crisis management, but there still was a bit of it. Either case, I really liked it. It's all a dice worker placement game. But with Chapter 3, you're really starting to do the exploration part of the world, and you're going out and you are settling in the world, and you're exploring these temples, and you're taking on quests, and it just really opens up the world for me. Oh, actually, no, I did win Chapter 3, so that might be also why my bias towards Chapter 3 exists. I've never won Chapter 1 or 2. I've never actually played this game multiplayer either. I really want to do that. It's a beast of a game, but I really, really liked it. So that's Perseverance Chapters 3 and 4 from Mind Clash Games.
Nice. Moving on to our number 9s. My number 9 is probably my underdog pick of the year. I really, really enjoy this game. I've taught it at my brother's library night. I have played it probably more than any other physical game this year. The only thing I've beat for plays is things I play online or on my phone for games. And this is going to be a little 2-player card game called Breakcast.
Oh.
So a self-published game by the same individual, I believe, that does the art. It is a brilliant, quick little dueling 2-player, adorable art Wizards game where you're just trying to win in one of 2 different conditions, and you're constantly trying to utilize the powers of all of the different wizards that you can play on the board. So it's this tableau building. So you either win by playing 1 of each wizard type or 5 of one wizard type. Okay. So you're constantly trying to do that, but all the wizards have different abilities when you play, or I say spellcasters, because there is a wizard, there's a druid, there's a, but I played it, again, over 70 times, I think, this year.
I just played a game recently that had that same mechanic where you wanted to collect all of one, or one of all, or all of one, and I'm trying to think of what it was. I haven't played Breakcast yet.
Yeah, it's just because it's so addictive. Yeah. I just played. I would play it over and over and over again. Taught it at events and just had so much fun with it. And the little fish wizard guy you see on the cover is the most adorable art you'll ever see. So that is my number 9, Breakcast.
Yeah, you got to teach that one to me.
Yeah.
That one sounds fun.
Yeah.
My number 9 is one that I just got in recently. I have been since PAX looking for the pre-orders to turn into live orders online, so I finally got my copy of it. I am super excited for you to play it so that when we do our review, I look forward to your jokes, so brush up on that. This is going to be Night Soil.
Oh, wow.
It's a game about poop.
Yeah.
So you are in Tudor, England, and your job is to clean up the street. Yeah. Your job is to clean up the streets of London and make sure all of the night soil, poop, is swept into the Thames. Yes, really. So it takes place over 4 phases, and 2 of them are really just kind of cleanup phases. So it's day, evening, night, and morning. So during the daytime, you're placing workers out into the map of London, and as you're going out there, you're taking your different actions, like you're staking claim to a certain neighborhood, and basically what that means is you're putting up your poster advertising your services, or you're getting reputation with certain things, which can, if you have the most in a reputation track, you get their special power. So like one of them, you can, instead of sweeping poop out into the Thames, you can sweep it out through the royal quarters and get it that way. Evening is just, as I said, it's a little bit of a cleanup phase, and then you move on to the night phase, which is when your workers are actually going out, and your workers are represented by cards in front of you, and each card can be used once, or you can pay a coin on some of them to use it a second time. And it's letting you move cubes around the map, and the ultimate goal is really twofold. One, you want to clean out the neighborhoods that you've claimed, because that's how you get your workers back. And then the other thing is you want to get that poop out into the Thames, because that's when you collect it, and at the end of that phase, you sell your poop for money.
So you really want to wipe down the board thoroughly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it is a cloth board, so it's nice. It's better than like that cardboard.
Yeah, yikes.
And yeah, so that's what you have to look forward to in the full review of Night Soil. But really, really good game. Played it a couple of times now. So much fun. And they got the theming just right with the cards.
Nice.
I think you're really going to like it.
Very good. Excellent. That was our number 9. Not moving on to number 8. So number 8 of the year for me is another 2-player game. And this one, later in the year as well, I think that sometime in the fall I picked this up. But I've played it so many times already. Probably played every combination possible in it. And I'm looking forward that there are going to be more in this series. From the same team that brought us Sky Team, this is Tag Team. So Tag Team is a kind of a what do they call it, auto battler. So you both draft 2 players, draft 2 different fighter characters. You shuffle those decks together, and you're going to be adding 1 card at a time to a small deck that is going to auto battle the other player in a simultaneous round at the end of each round. So a lot of fun. I love the art. It is just seems like there's not a lot of decision space, but there really is when you're thinking about as that deck's growing. Where am I? Because when I add that new card, I can add it anywhere in the deck, to the top of it, to the bottom, between any other cards. So I'm trying to remember what cards I'm trying to interact with my opponent, but worry that where are they putting their card to then change
with the order.
And it's going to change with the order. So you're trying to anticipate where they might be putting that card.
That's hard.
A lot of fun, and like I said, I think there's 16 characters in the initial game, and they're going to be adding more characters as well. So just fantastic game, Tag Team.
Awesome. So my number 8 is going to be another game from Ivy Studios. I think they've met in my top 10 lists of all the year, pretty much every year now for the past several years. So this is their newest one. It is a flip and write game, Tend. It is the largest and most complex flip and write or verb and verb really in general that I own. I'd say it contests with Hadrian's Wall in terms of complexity, in terms of the synergies. Really fun to explore. It's definitely one of those games where multiple paths to victory points, which is really nice. But at the end of the game, you're really trying to just get goods sold into your cargo manifest, and that's where you score the bulkier points. And then you get badges and merits for doing that. Really, really fun game. I have the Ultra Deluxe Edition, of course, which means that I have my markers. They have little stamps on them so that when you mark off the places in your cargo, it's not just a colored dot. It's actually like a fish or a mining pick. And also the way that you explore the forest and the mines is really fun, too. It's a Lotto scratch-off card. And so you get to scratch off to go along the way. They do have the option to use an online portal for that if you really want to, and it's randomized card, but then you can just click on the little squares instead if you don't like all the mess of the scratch offs. But really, really fantastic game. I've been looking forward to it for a while. Never got to play it at any of the cons. It just didn't hit the top of my list to go and sit down and try. So I played it several times now since I got it. Really, really good game.
Moving on to our number 7s. My number 7 is, breaking away from 2-player games for a second, is the third game in a trilogy that I adore. And this was highly anticipating this game, and it really delivered on that. And that would be IR Children of the Sun. So this is from the trilogy from the OP Games, primarily designed with Fabio Lipiano and other designers, but primarily kind of considered his trilogy, I believe, right now.
I think so, yeah.
So this is part of Merv, Sankare, and now IR. This is a interesting semi-cooperative racing game where you're moving these IR, basically these gods, across the board, and that determines the actions that you can take during the course of the game. You have a bit of a puzzle on your board to determine how the strengths of those actions throughout the game that you can take.
And when you play it as a rondelle, it's more challenging and more fun.
So, but as you're playing it, like, you really get to focus on, like, not only like what things you want to be good at, but how well they will score. And one of my favorite mechanics in, particularly in like mid-weight Euro games, is give me 2 different types of scoring. So I think like Beer and Bread game, if you played that, Merchants of the Dark Road, which I love, does this. So this game has sun and moon scoring essentially, and your winning score will be the lower of the two at the end of the game. So you have to not only figure out what two actions do I want to excel in the game, but how am I going to make the most of both scoring elements there. So.
And then you use what kind of animals to fudge?
Llamas. Llamas. You get llamas to adjust your score at the end of the game, which is awesome. So
not camels, right?
Not camels, llamas. But so very, very fun game. I enjoyed IR Children of the Sun. It is definitely unique. I haven't played many games like it. So, and it was, again, a great button on that trilogy from that series. So IR Children of the Sun.
Nice. My number 7 is actually your runner-up. I was not as reticent to put it on my list because of the strategy error that we made. I really, really enjoyed Covenant. I think it's a really fantastic game. I love the different actions you can take. I think that it also helps. I believe I won by like 2 points, if I remember correctly. I don't remember. I might have lost. But anyways, it's a really solid game. I really look forward to playing it again, as Scott said, with the correct strategy to see how it opens up a bit more. But even playing it, slightly suboptimally, as it were, I felt like we were able to do a lot within the game. And it was really fun to play. And
it's very thematic, like to get a dwarven game to make it make sense and work and feel, again, that semi-cooperative that works, where we're all technically trying to kill the orcs and get them out of there, but like
until the last minute when you want to throw orcs into your neighbor's territory.
Like any good semi-cooperative game, there's got to be that stab in the back moment.
Yeah. So it's best when they're not paying attention and they look down there and scoring. They're like, "Wait, where'd that orc come from?" And I don't know.
It's good.
Yeah, so that's my number 7, Covenant.
Excellent. So moving on to number 6. My number 6 for this year. Going back to, actually, this is not just a 2-player game. This is a 2 to 4 player game. Again, later one for me in this year, but I've played it over and over again. It's very mean, probably the meanest game on my list, but it's just delicious and dueling, and this would be Etherstone by Thundergriff Games. This is from the same designers of Darwin's Journey. It is just a interesting first drafting is the first part of the game, figuring out how I'm going to get which of my casters I'm going to choose, and then what is my best. They're not called spells; they're called entities, I think, but they're basically spells. And then put together my best spells, and then try to either get the most points or make sure everyone else dies enough where they get less points than I do. So.
Another one you got to show me at some point.
Oh, it's so good. I absolutely love Etherstone. It's gorgeous.
Your friend Corey showed that one to you, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's my number 6.
Cool. My number 6, I'm not going to speak too much about because Scott just did a lot. So that's going to be IR Children of the Sun.
Oh, wow.
For a lot of the same reasons that Scott just noted. I love the Gods track. I think that is just super fun. And so you take the actions that are behind the gods, which means that if somebody not kills off the god, but if the god that you're banking on with the actions is taken off early, your action selection goes down. Although I don't think we've ever reached. No, I think we only reached 1 or 2 turns where like, well, I don't have any of the actions I want to take, which is good. It shows good balance in the game. As Scott said, just one of the most unique games I've played lately, and it really sticks out in my mind. Love it.
Awesome. Number 5. My number 5. I assume will be a crossover with Rob's, but he hasn't mentioned it yet. My number 5 is, and I will fully admit that I did not like the first game in the series, or I bounced off of it. I didn't dislike it, just bounced off it a little bit. This is Recall. I really enjoyed this game. Like Covenant, helped that I won by a lot. But just something about it, like
I made like 2 critical errors about 2/3 of the way through the game. And I just could not remember.
Yeah, I was like, I love resource management. I love cascading actions, and this game really had that. It also had like the replacing either your workers or your actions, which are these keys, upgrading them. I love upgrading workers, and that was phenomenal.
We just have to play it on a table sometime because yours and mine have different issues with the table because yours has the mat that we were playing on the edge of, and mine has this bump from the TV in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
So we don't have that satisfying clicking the key in. They're both kind of like hovering underneath the board.
But phenomenal game. So that was Recall. And maybe just the art this time just clicked more with me. Loved it.
So my number 5 is going to be Orloi, the Prague Astronomical Clock, which I expect to be a crossover in that direction. So I saw this one back in the summer. It was, I think it was in the Gen Con ramp up, that kind of stuff. And I immediately knew I had to buy it. Just the artwork was gorgeous. It's right in my theme, the astronomy theme. Good worker placement, which I didn't realize is actually a, would you call it a rondelle? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because you have to, you move the clock hands around. Yeah. So it's interlocking rondelles. Oh, yeah, that's right, because it very much reminds me of Terracotta Army in the way that the rondelles work together. And there's the push your luck mechanic in terms of you can break teeth on your gears in order to take extra actions, just hoping that you have the ability to bring it back down, which I think we figured out how to manage that pretty well our last play. Beautiful game, a lot of decision space. It is procedural in the sense that you have to do this and then this and then this, but I don't feel trapped by it. There's enough ways to do this, then this, then this, that I feel like there's some good action space, and you can ride on the coattails of some other people with a few things too. So just really solid game, gorgeous game. I got to play it solo sometime.
I love that one. Yep.
Yeah. So that's my number 5.
Moving on to number 4. Not technically just a solo game, but my other larger solo game that showed up here on the list for the one that I played mainly solo this year. This is a surprising game that I had wasn't on my radar. Picked it up earlier this year. I think because I had some store credit at my local store, and I picked it up. And this would be a IP also IP games usually high risk. If you don't know what you're getting, but it just something about it drew me in. Glad I did. This would be Metal Gear Solid, the board game.
Oh, right.
This was a phenomenal game to go through. I really enjoyed the sneaking missions, and then the boss fights were really fun. Really captured the essence of the original Metal Gear Solid games. It also had great kind of AI decks for the guards, and that whole system worked really well. So early game when you were didn't have the weapons and you had to do all silent takedowns, the puzzle of how do I bait them into a certain place, tapping on walls and get them to come around and then grab a guy into the shadows. All that felt very thematic. The miniatures are fantastic. I'm not sure why this one did not do as well for CMON, but it's just one of the better things I've seen from CMON.
Yeah, I think that it just hit the wrong time for them. They couldn't quite push it the way they wanted to because they were dealing with just a lot of other troubles because of tariffs and such.
Oh, for sure. But for me, it's like what I wanted out of Burn Cycle. Just the simplicity of good puzzle, do the little side missions on the board, don't get caught. If you get caught, that's bad. You do not want to end up in a firefight. You will die.
The amount of times I tried to tell them that during the first game of Burn Cycle before, I think, Sean opened fire first.
Yeah, no. But so much fun. And I actually love that the tutorial book itself became a puzzle I had to solve later in the game, too. I had to go back to it and do something in the tutorial.
Because, of course, Scott was like, tutorial? I don't need to stick a tutorial.
Well, I did a little bit of it, and then you're like, oh, I'm done with it. But it's you have to go back and do it a certain way. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah. Very clever. Nice. So that's my number 4 of the year, Metal Gear Solid, the board game.
That one, every time I see it, I almost pick it up because of how much you rave about it. I think I'm going to cave on that one soon. My number 4, again, not going to talk about it too much because Scott already has, and that's going to be Recall. I did love Revive. I've only played it multiplayer a couple of times, but I played Revive solo, I think 2-3 dozen times last year. And I look forward to doing the same with Recall. I miss the player board of Revive. I like the intricacies of those tracks, but Recall adds so much more. It's one of those games that I think that if you told me I could only play one of them right now, I would choose Recall. But if we're putting it up against a lot of other games and it's you can play Revive, it's so equivalent to me with Recall that I'd be fine with it. You know what I mean? I think Yeah. I love the way that the actions work, and as Scott said, how you can upgrade them. I've always loved that in Revive, and it's back with Recall, but with the keys this time instead of cards, where you technically have the action on the board that you're going to take, but then when you slot a key in, it's a new action on the key that you can take, so you can mix and match, where it's like, okay, well, this time I don't need to do the movement with the get a guy, but I can do the movement with a build, or whatever it is.
Right.
Just mixing and matching the sub actions is really, really fun. Gorgeous game to look at. I do like the land pieces better in this one than in Revive because they're less finicky, because they're just large hexes. They're not multi shapes of things. So a little minor thing there that does have some gameplay implications.
I think that was more the linear nature of it. I liked it just in general. That Recall hit more for me. Like, I'm not as much of a tech track guy as you are, so like I think I didn't miss that. So like being more linear, it was, what do we call it? We jokingly called it a 3x.
Yeah, it's a 3x.
Because you're not attacking each other.
Yeah, we don't exterminate each other.
Yeah, so it's just, but like you're doing everything else.
We just shake fists at each other from across the board.
Yeah.
I look forward to playing that at 4-player, because at 2-player we did kind of branch off, which is one of the reasons I lost so terribly. I think I would have lost no matter what, because you just excel at those kind of games. But my side of the board didn't have quite the same resources, and instead of doing the smart thing and being like, well, let me just duck over here, because my guy had the ability to walk through volcanoes, so I could have at any time. We stayed separate. So with 4 players, we're not going to have that choice. So I'm really looking forward to that interaction. So yeah, Recall, really, really solid game. Just love it.
Awesome. Getting down to the last 3 here. So my number 3 of 2025, and technically we'll call it my number 1 of 2-player games of the year. 2-player only, I should say, or 2-player less. And that will be Star Trek Captain's Chair. This game, I got it very early in the year and have played it to death. So much so that it may have even been higher if somehow they had gotten the expansions in under the wire for the end of the year. They haven't. I think they're supposed to be shipping as of this week. But absolutely love this game of just jumping into one of 6 captains from Star Trek, and the same deck building mechanics from the Imperium series brought into this and just done better. Better mechanics. The keywords make sense, and once you understand the game, it is complex, but once you understand it and how to work with each asymmetrical captain's play style and their core deck and their ways of scoring, it is a delightful game to jump into and see how each captain works and how each captain works against each opponent captain.
So, and it's interesting because you've said that you prefer this one as a 2-player experience, but
it's solo.
You
can
see
solo it.
Online, most people that I see rave about it because of a solo game.
I like the solo; it's good.
Yeah.
I like playing against a human in this. It's just fun.
It's fair. Cool. So since I think maybe I don't. I was going to say, since I think I know what your other 2 are, I'm kind of surprised that this one didn't make your list, but maybe it did, and maybe I'm just mistaken in your top 2. So my number 3 of the year is one that that Scott didn't realize he was baiting me into buying, but he did bait me into buying it by saying, hey, this game looks fun, and then I spent $300 on it. And that's going to be Emberleaf. So this is a card dancing game. You're basically playing a tableau of cards, but what's cool about it is then you can also slide the cards down, and that's another way that you can take actions. And they slide in a very specific manner. They go from top, bottom, left to right. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you move the cards, so you're trying to place the cards in a certain order so they trigger and benefit each other. But I think Alex at Board Game Co. is the one who pointed out that this is one of those games that there's always going to be one turn that you look down and be like, damn it, I put them in the wrong order. Like, it's just going to happen. But that's part of the fun of it. You are rebuilding the forest after it was burned to the ground, so a nice lighthearted theme. And just building out the buildings. It's cool because in this case, the buildings, the different types, really only matter for objectives. The buildings themselves don't have anything special about them.
Right.
So you can build whatever you want, but then later on there's going to be an objective card, a favor card that comes out, and you're like, well, I wish I had built this instead of that. Just really, really clever game. I really enjoy it. Very streamlined play style. Like there's no real sticky points to it. I think everything just flows together really, really nicely.
Love it. It ended up at number 12.
12. All right. Yeah.
So loved Emberleaf.
You have a lot of 2-player games on your list. So one thing I noticed is you played more 2025 games than I did because there was a bunch this year that came out. Like this was a great year for 2-player games.
Yeah.
And you just play 2-player games so much more than I do. Yeah, so okay, that makes sense then. Yeah, so that's my number 3.
My number 2 of the year is a crossover with Rob. We played it the first time I think together when you brought it. You got it from Spiel, and this would be Orloy. So Orloy, the Prague astronomical clock. There we go. I got Orloy right. So Orloy is just, as Rob said.
So many people correcting us in the comments. It is Orloy. That's what we've heard. That's how it's pronounced.
I looked it up. So you might say Orlage or
languages?
It's Prague. So Prague would be, I don't know what is Prague.
It's Denmark?
I don't know. Cut this part out. Anyways, so all the reasons Rob said, I love rondelles. Didn't know it earlier in the hobby. Probably, if I had to go back and we have a video on our favorite mechanics, we should probably revisit that at some point. Rondelles is probably my top 3 mechanics.
I think it's been a long time since we've done a mechanic, or we should do that again.
And I used to love other things. Rondelles is one of my favorite mechanics. And this one does it great. Like some other ones I love, with like the moving rondelle, where I can move it around, like you said, Terracotta Army.
Yep.
Fantastic. I love the cascading actions, and it's just a gorgeous game. And I can be doing something entirely different than Rob's doing.
Yeah, for sure. Yep, fantastic game. I love it. As I said, I got to break it out solo soon.
Yeah, don't need to belabor it. Number 2, great game.
So my number 2 is one that I just think Scott absolutely hates. He's never going to have it on his list at all. That's going to be, I say this complete jest, Luthier. So Luthier is, you are making instruments back in the
1700s.
1700s, yeah. And you have different patrons, which are all famous musicians of the time, that are wanting you to either make certain instruments or play certain concerts or repair certain instruments at this concert hall, which makes up the center of the board. It has a lot of action space available to you in that game. It is just wide open. Like we have played a game before where all 4 of us focused on a different area and scored fairly similarly, within 10 points or so of each other. The only one that I will never touch again in terms of the style of play is I'm never going to push for performances, because in performances you have to roll dice, and it doesn't matter if it's 1 through 6 on a d6 or if it's different notes on a d6. I will fail miserably at it. And I proved that quite succinctly. Like, I upgraded the dice, I had everything that I needed to, I rolled, and I'm like, I rolled a 3. How did I roll 3?
Yeah.
So, just a really, really good game. We played it the first time with mid expectations, I think I would say. We're like, okay, it looks pretty, it looks solid, it looks kind of Lacerda-ish. And we're like, all right, let's see how this is. And we finished it, and I mean, Scott and I couldn't stop talking about it for a week straight, to the point where the next Friday, we almost never play games back-to-back Friday to Friday. We like to have a variety. And when I sat down, I was like, so Luthier? And we were all like, yeah. And we played it, we've probably played that a half dozen times now.
Or more, yeah.
Yeah, oh, it's so good. So good.
Awesome. So, number 1 games of the year of 2025. My number 1 crossover with Rob there is Luthier. So Luthier.
Sorry, I stole your thunder.
No, that's right.
We'll call it a segue.
Yeah, Luthier is from the second game from Paverson Games. This game has everything for me. It's a stunning game stunning art by Vincent Dutrait, one of my favorite board game artists. The game is an easy teach, in my opinion, for its weight. It has bluffing, which I love. It has...
Oh, yeah, I forgot to even mention the way that you place actions.
So you bluff on what strength of action you're taking when you go somewhere. Everything's played face down. And there's nail biting because you are... After you've placed everything, now we go around the table and decide what activates first. So not only did I need to get what I needed to and have the strength that I needed to, Rob and I are both vying for that card, but I can't get that card until I get that money that I needed on this action. So if Rob chooses that first, it is so good. It's such an interactive Euro.
Yeah.
And everything just makes sense as you're making your instruments, you're appeasing all of your patrons. It's just there's so much going on, but the game really just sings. You know, it's fantastic.
It's been nice.
Yeah. I cannot say enough good things about this game. Everyone I've shown this game to absolutely adores it. So.
Yeah, such a good game. Such a good game. I think the only reason it didn't hit my number one spot is because my number one game hits my theme marker so much harder, and that's going to be Galactic Cruise from Kins and Key Games. So the only negative thing I will say about it, especially after just talking about Luthier, is that there isn't the broad, wide open action space that we like in certain Euros. Like there is definitely you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. I've been playing it a lot lately. They just added it to Board Game Arena, so I've been playing it a lot. I probably played it. I've easily tripled my play count now just with Board Game Arena. And I have found there are, and this is just the base game, there are ways that you can break away from the just do A, B, C, then D, then E. But again, nowhere close to something like the Luthier, where you just got
you don't really specialize in Galactic Cruise.
No, and that's the other thing is you don't specialize. Like you're all kind of doing the same thing. Now that being said, I have not played with either of the expansions that are out yet, and I look forward to doing so. And then I have the newest one, Accomplishments, coming out, which is kind of a legacy-esque part of it. And I'm hoping that we do get to like specialize a little bit more. I am blanking on what the other things other in Accomplishments are right now, so forgive me for that. But I think that if I remember correctly, there is going to be ways of kind of differentiating ourselves as we start to grow. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that grows. The theme is just spot on for me. It feels very thematic to me in terms of what you're doing. The cabins that you get to place are really fun. There's things like there's a board game conference that you can go to, or there's a trampoline park that you can go to. So it's quirky. Now, I will note, it is definitely one of those games that they easily could have made this a normal cruise line, right? Like there's nothing that needs to be in space for this. They just decided thematically that it would be more fun if it was in space with rockets. And it works. And it's, I don't know, it's a beautiful game. I love Ian O'Toole's artwork in it. It just, it's the perfect like retro 50s futuristic look for me, which I absolutely adore. I had followed this game since it was on the cardboard and paper pencil phase, all the way up through launch. I just saw that I think the files were just released to print for the expansion, so I'm looking forward to getting that. Just really, really good game. Galactic Cruise. If you haven't checked it out, you can check it out on Board Game Arena, and I highly, highly recommend doing so. Just really, really good game.
Awesome. Well, that wraps up our game for our picks for 2025. Hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave those in the comments. Love to hear your list as well. Games that maybe we missed, they were expecting to see, didn't see, would like us to try out. We will happily take a look at those. But with that, we wish you good luck with all of your future board game adventures.
And thank you for joining us on ours.